Hey guys, Chris here. I'm going to be going over the PC settings so all of you PCers can feel comfortable when you guys jump on in and know exactly what you're doing when it comes to these settings. I will be doing a create a class video here shortly as well, but first let's jump into settings so you guys can feel pretty good. What I love that Activision did again in another game is that you actually get to see what these settings do. This is fantastic, especially for people who might not know a lot about settings or know a lot about their graphic settings, right? Like this explains stuff very, very well. So this video won't be too long since it does that. I don't have to go over any of that for you. The biggest thing I want to show you guys here is when you first jump in, you are welcome. If you go over to audio and you hit show more under master volume, turn that music button down. That thing is cranking and you are going to thank me because it took me a pretty long time to realize there was a show more button on the settings. So yeah. So let's go back. So we got gameplay. Gameplay is going to be all your basic stuff like sensitivity. You're going to have your general, which is field of view. By default, it is at 90. I haven't really messed too much around with it. I don't really go too high in field of view because this isn't Quake. So I just bumped it up about 10. It felt really nice. I'm not sure if it really changed anything for me. It was just a nice little, it was just good enough for me. I don't know. It just felt right. But once again, if you hit show more, it's going to give you some other things. So ADS field of view, right? This is pretty interesting. Check out this setting. I'm going to keep mine on affected because I feel like that's just the best way to do it. But as we go down, you're going to have action behaviors as well. So you can kind of determine on how you want to use these, which is pretty cool, right? I wasn't really expecting that. But overall, really basic stuff. If you go over key binding, you are then going to get a ton of options for your keys because there's a ton here. Basically, just go in here, change it around. The biggest thing that I want to show you is take a second to look at, let's see, change stance and slide. This is pretty interesting because what this does is you can press to crouch, hold to prone, press while sprinting to slide, and press while in water to swim down. I thought this was pretty interesting to have a button that can do multiple things for us. I've been playing around with it. It's on there by default. It feels pretty nice, honestly. I think the biggest gripe that I have when it comes to key bindings are going to be this sprint. I wish I could double bind my sprint key, because I really don't like the way that I've never been a big fan of one way. So this is basically press the sprint and then it just continues to go until you move forward. I have always been a big fan of games where I actually have to hold to make the action work. However, I can only bind one key in this section, right? So like I can't have both sprint and steady aim as my left shift. So I'm kind of forced with sprint and steady aim. If any of you guys know any other way to get around this, please let me know. I wish I could double key bind it, but from what I could tell, it doesn't look like that works. You're going to have your score streak section, so you can change your bindings in here. I just kept this all at default. I felt like it was right. It felt good. Shared, this is cool. So you can actually change to class using whatever keys you want while you're at the class selection page when you're in game. Super helpful. Interface, you got all these interface options. I didn't really mess around with them. I felt like it's all the basic stuff. They set it up really well for you. So you probably don't really need to change much in there. Next up, you're going to have your graphics. Pretty simple, straightforward again. They did a really nice job with this clean layout, giving us enough options to feel like we're in control of how we want our game to run. What I really love, again, is that they actually have VRAM usage up here, so they'll let you know if you go to max. For me, I am running literally everything on low just because I want the best possible performance that I can get. You know, it's really up to you and how you want to play your game. As you go down, what I can tell you guys is I have a 1080, not a Ti, and then I also have an i7-77K. Basically, I am averaging around almost 150 to 200 FPS depending on what's happening in game. Obviously, this can drop down to about 90, I think is the lowest that I've seen it go. Overall, the gameplay is super smooth, but I do have everything on low to try and make it as maximum smoothness as possible. I know a lot of you competitive gamers out there are kind of the same way as me. So everything here for me is just going to be on low. Next up is going to be interface. Interface is really just going to be your GUI in a sense. So what's happening on screen when you're in game. So I didn't really change much in here. I didn't feel like I really needed to. But this is where you can actually find your FPS counter, your ping, and your GPU temperature. That's going to be located in the upper left, as you guys see. I really like that setting on just to see how I'm doing. Next up, you're going to have audio. Like I said, master volume, show more, and turn that music down, at least as far as you guys want to. Not saying the music isn't awesome. It is just super loud and distracting. Other than that, I mean, pretty straightforward again, guys. I mean, they have all this stuff in here that you guys can take a look at. Audio preset. This is pretty interesting. So Treyarch actually has their own audio preset. This is probably all just up to you what you want to do. I haven't changed it off the mix yet. I haven't really messed around too much with it. I mean, honestly, the game sounds fine to me on the mix, but I might want to try headphone a little bit later to really figure out what's going on there. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Obviously, I can't go over the gamepad, but that's going to be your settings 101 for Call of Duty 4 Black Ops. So, hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys like it, please like the video and make sure you guys follow so I know you guys want more of these videos. So, have a great day, guys. Peace out.